what was happening when we were shooting this movie should happen to no man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Rich here, back at it again, and let's talk square watches. So what's up with the lack of square watches? After all, the watch industry is a copycat world. Panerai came in big and all watches went big. Rolex introduced us to the Hulk and all watches went green. Same goes for materials. Every watch has a titanium model in their lineup, or carbon fiber. Definitely a black watch. But when it comes to the square watch, it's not shown any love. It's kind of like the red-headed stepchild. So thank goodness there are two mainstay brands that are known for their square watches, and we're talking Tag Heuer's Monaco and Bell & Ross. Okay, so let's start off with Heuer's all-new Monaco, their Calibre 11, and I really like the color scheme of this. I love those orange accents, and I really like that it's in 39 millimeters. It retails for $5,900. I know most of us are familiar with their blue dial that's been famous for years. So speaking of years, let's do a quick rundown on the Monaco's history. It came out in 1969 to honor the Monaco Grand Prix, but it wasn't made famous until Steve McQueen, the great Steve McQueen, wore it in the 1971 film Le Mans, where they used real footage of the race in the film. I thought Steve McQueen he's just so cool, one of my favorite actors, and on a side note, I really liked him because he befriended the legendary Bruce Lee and was a student of Bruce Lee, and he tried really hard to try to get Bruce's foot in the door in Hollywood, and that was near impossible in the 1960s. So end of side note. So while the Monaco doesn't carry any real historical relevance or horological significance, such as Rolex being part of the Mount Everest climb or Omega Speedmaster being the first watch worn on the moon, the Monaco is the first automatic square case chronograph, so there's a little bit of relevance there. Plus, it's just a really cool look and would be my top pick for a square watch. My next favorite square watch is Bell & Ross's 03 Diver. This is in 42 millimeters and it retails for $3,500. It comes in black, blue, and bronze. And while I am a big fan of blue dials, not so much with this blue version. In fact, it's surprising that I prefer the black one over this blue one. But the more I look at the photographs of the bronze one, the more I like that bronze version. I think one of the only hesitations is bronze considered a gold wannabe? But as bronze starts to form its patina from the oxidation, I think it lends itself to a really nice look. That aged or kind of patinaed bronze is a really cool look. Bell & Ross's blue watch that I really like is their Hyper Stellar with those really cool blue accents. And it's not priced nearly as high as the Tourbillon. It's priced at $20,000. But it's also priced at $20,000, which means I have to still come back down to earth. The Bell & Ross name is a tricky brand. We don't view it on the same level as Omega, probably not even Breitling, closer to Tag Heuer. But we also don't turn our nose down to this brand. I think we carry enough respect for the Bell & Ross brand. They also make some really lavish watches and some really expensive ones. They also make tourbillons, such as the range from $64,000 all the way up to $480,000. $500,000 for a Bell & Ross. So I wonder, if I had that kind of money, would I buy a Bell & Ross? No. But it's necessary for a brand like Bell & Ross to show what they can do, even though they don't expect too many sellers or buyers for their $500,000 watch. It's almost akin to Jacob & Company, who also make some really expensive, really nice watches to tell the world that we are more than just a hip-hop watch, which is what they were considered during the 90s and early 2000s with the 4 different time zones, even though they were quartz movements. And they still make those watches, by the way, and we can get those for pennies on the dollar. But in this instance, for both Jacob & Company and Bell & Ross, it's necessary for them to show the world this is what we can do to be taken a lot more seriously. The type of watch I was referring to with Jacob is their new minute repeater, which is absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous and it chimes really loudly. This was just introduced at this past SIHH in Basel World, but it goes to show the importance for a brand like Jacob or Bell & Ross to introduce us to their super high-end lineup of watches, because it attracts us to their lower end of watches. And by introducing us or telling the world, look at these watches, the type of watches we can make, it makes us feel a lot better about their lower end of watches. So while Bell & Ross is respected and known for their square watches, they are not known for any creativity with their more traditional round watches. I'm going to show you a picture of one of their non-squared watches. And doesn't that look like the infamous Omega Speedmaster, which doesn't help with the perception of lack of creativity with their non-squared watches. So if we agree with Huey Lewis and the News that a square watch is...
It's hip to be square!
But we don't want to spend the kind of money on a Tag Heuer or Bell & Ross. There are a few other more affordable square watches. Fortis makes a decent looking one, Certina makes a decent looking one, and Zinn makes a really decent one. I really like Zinn watches, but I think Zinn deserves their own show. And coincidentally and interestingly enough, Bell & Ross used to import, distribute, and market Zinn watches in the US. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Steve McQueen is one of my all-time favorite actors because of Bruce Lee. Bruce, you dumb. Bruce Lee is one of... Steve McQueen is one... So who is a square watch for? So the square watch